Are you comfortable? I'm having a picnic. I realized that I have not made a video in a couple of weeks. I have been finishing my semester for my doctoral program, so I had some stuff that I was going to submit. Today I am working on the very last academic assignment that I need to do for my doctorate degree. I'm very tired. Once I complete and upload this assignment, I will be done with all of the academic work for my degree, and I will just have 1 year to finish my dissertation. There's gonna be a lot of this today.
One eternity later.
I'm about to submit my final paper. What's happening? That's Sharon's thumb. I don't have 3 thumbs.
Do it. Hurry up. I'm so tired.
I did it! I did it! I did it. Now I can go to bed. So now I'm officially on summer break, kind of, because I still have more schoolwork to do. It never ends. It's bright and it's hot. This picnic got hot. I want to go inside now.
Okay.
So it's several days later and I've been pretty busy because it turns out that when you're an adult and you go on summer break from school, you still have a lot of work to do. Anyway, I've got some thoughts about all of this that I want to share with you, but first, I'm here to pick up my kids from school, and there's one of them I kind of want you to see. You look good.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
What happened to you?
It was getting a little.
I got colored.
Wow, I love you so much, B. Brooklyn. You need to sit on that blanket. I'm gonna wrap you up like a little colorful burrito.
How am I gonna buckle?
Buckle. Good?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable? So I've got a lot of thoughts and feelings about being 1 year away from finishing my doctorate degree. First of all, I know that I have an entire year left working on my dissertation project, so it's really important that I don't let my brain trick me into thinking that I'm finished, even though I'm finished. 2, if you had told the younger version of myself that one day I would be a year away from finishing a doctorate degree, I would have laughed at you. I would have never believed it. At one point, I wasn't even sure that I was gonna graduate high school. I was the kid who had to go and beg his senior English teacher for makeup work just to raise my GPA to the point where I could actually get a high school diploma. And when I finally did graduate high school, I didn't think that I was ever gonna go to college, let alone do it 3 times. I will never forget what it felt like to walk across a stage and graduate with my bachelor's. I was the first person in my family to do it. Shout out to my mom and my brother who have both now also graduated from college. But that moment was one of the first in my entire life where I remember actually thinking, you know what? Maybe I'm smart. Now I'm 1 year away from graduating with my doctorate in leadership and spiritual formation, and I've worked out that I am actually a smart person. But this is also the result of being really tenacious. I am absolutely convinced that success in things like life and school are the results of an equation that goes something like being smart plus refusing to ever give up equals winning. Those things are probably inversely proportional, like the less smart I feel, the more it matters that I absolutely refuse to quit. And this program that I've been in for 2 years has been a challenge in both of those areas. Okay, it's confession time. I started this program thinking that I was gonna learn how to become an expert in creating compelling programs that would hack the algorithm for church growth and health. 2 years later, we just had our very last weekly call for our cohort. I've been doing that every Tuesday for 2 years. I have feelings. I'm gonna miss that. On that call, we were asked to reflect on what kind of growth we've experienced academically or personally. And if I'm honest, that question threw me for a minute. I felt pretty overwhelmed. I mean, how do you boil down everything you've learned in 2 years into one statement? But after I took a few deep breaths, thought about it for a few minutes, here's what I said. After 2 years, I've learned that the change that I want to see in the world isn't always the same as the change Jesus wants to see. I've learned that I'm not going to accomplish change by creating compelling programs, but if I can become a compelling person. I've learned, in the words of Brian Stevenson, the author, lawyer, and hero who wrote Just Mercy, that change happens by learning to be proximate, which means to be close in the life-on-life kind of sense. You need to learn how to be proximate with people and with Jesus at the same time. When I think about the issues in the world where I really want to see change, racial justice, gender bias, the needs of the poor, care of those with disabilities, discipleship and formation of the global church and the local church, and also my family, all of that merges together and it begins to feel like a big, giant mountain. I look at that mountain and I want to climb it. I want to figure it out. I want to learn how to get to the top so that I can help others do the same, and then together we'll all overcome all of the issues in the entire world. But I've learned that my gift in the world might not actually be to fix it. My gift to the world is to be the kind of compelling person who is present on his own journey on the mountain of life's issues. In my mind, a compelling person is the kind of person who takes on big challenges and also resists anxiety when things get hard. You might say this is the kind of person who's smart enough to see a need and tenacious enough not to give up when it gets hard. But compelling people are also honest about the fact that life does get difficult. Nobody's inspired by people who act like they've always got everything together and life is easy. We want to be around people who overcome difficult challenges, which means you have to admit that some challenges are difficult. Compelling people are also the kind of people who invite others to join them on the journey on the mountain. True and good leadership is not about scaling the mountain in your own strength or fixing all of the issues in the world because you're smart and good enough. It's about helping people find peace wherever they're at on the mountain of the journey of their life. It's about helping people figure out what their next right step looks like and giving them the courage to take it. Finally, I've learned that the ultimate goal of my life is not to figure out how to change everyone else's world, but to figure out how to get close enough to Jesus for long enough that I would allow him to change mine. If along the way, as I invite people to journey with me on the mountain, if their lives are changed, blessed, or healed, or inspired, then I'll praise God for that. But I've become so much more comfortable letting him take the credit. Life still feels like a mountain. There's so much more work left to be done. But the biggest reward from all of this work and effort in school and ministry and life and leadership hasn't been in figuring out some compelling program to change the world. It's in discovering all of the ways that Jesus has changed me. This is the kind of person I want to be for the rest of my life. And if it's taken all of these years in school to figure that out, then it's been worth all the work.